Fuel your body with Complete Multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just 1 tablet a day is all you need. Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful nutrition. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition store.
Only $32.90. Good afternoon, family, and good evening. From my end, exactly 18 minutes past 8 p.m. Hope you're having an easy day, a good one. So far, September is taking you amazing. 2024 has gone super fast, man. But anyway, karibuni sana to another beautiful conversation of the Africa Today show right here. For those who are on YouTube, BitChute on the network, and to those who shall be catching this on a replay as usual, I hope you guys get to enjoy the conversation. Leave your comments behind in case you want to see any particular change or anything you'd like us to advance or talk about. Feel free to pin them on the comment section literally after if you're watching or rather catching this on a replay. Of course, if you're catching us live, you can feel free to put it on the comment section and we shall see what we can do about that. Or rather, email us at kcnews15@gmail.com. Karibuni sana. Today we want to discuss about what is happening in France, literally how Europe is collapsing generally, talking specifically about France, but Europe is collapsing, and that this has been mostly taking place after the Alliance Sahel state took over control of resources, talking about Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. So currently, France is suffering the consequences of this, of course, in different ways. We talk about literally their airlines declining, something like that, if I can remember, because of they're not able to, transport much or steal much resources from Africa, and so much more. Literally, they don't have enough food supply. That is according to the video I have, and so many details literally on that particular video. But combined with that, we want to talk about also, rather I'll be sharing a video of a white guy who's talking about how for so long white people have been in control, and how they rigged the system against Black people, and now this is backfiring on them because everything they've been doing has always to oppress Black people globally, starting from the continent all the way to America. Literally, Black people, whatever they are, it's oppression. So they designed this system to favor them, but apparently it's literally right now backfiring on them. So I'll be sharing that video, which she's talking a little bit of creating confusion with religion and all that, but getting the details of their action, he's really making a lot of sense. And last but not least, we shall focus on Trump, not Trump, but literally that is Putin, Jinping, and which president? Which of this other president? I forgot the other name, the name of the other president. But we have Putin, Jinping. I can't remember the name of the other guy. God damn, I just forgot. But yeah, they have been discussing about how America has been also, of course, apart from setting up secret labs like in Ukraine and all that. The video explains further how they've been using, of course, the blood of children. And we also see celebrities actually who are using this blood of children to keep and maintain themselves younger. And I'm shocked. I've seen someone like, it's called Tekashi 69. People call him Tekashi. Sometimes he calls 69. I don't know what is his name, but yeah, I've seen him there too. It's It's super crazy. But yeah, karibuni sana again as we get started. Download our app if you don't want to miss most of these amazing conversations. Through the app, you can literally get connected to the rest of the streaming platform, including YouTube right itself. We have Rumble, we have BitChute. In case the shows are on private, you can find them on BitChute and Rumble, and that is through the application. And of course, get yourself the merchandise, get yourself the amazing organic supplements, and stay healthy. But for now, we start with what is happening in France because, yeah, things are getting heated up in France.
France is collapsing, and the reason is because Haitians are done bewitching that country.
I don't know about bewitching. She's talking crazy about bewitching, but yeah, you get what you get.
I should let you guys know that it was announced just 3 hours ago that the French government has collapsed.
France is now ungovernable. You better believe it. France is now ungovernable. The country that actually made its money from bleeding Black people, the country that forced Haiti to pay 150 billion for their freedom. And one of the reasons why Haiti is still in the situation it is right now is because of France. France, the country that bled Africa, making sure that the countries that it colonized basically had to pay a colonial tax for being colonized. That country, the country that one of the biggest slave traders in the world, that country has run out of money. They cannot afford to pay the pensions. They cannot afford the healthcare system. Literally, France is literally on the verge of economic.
And they deserve it. How do you make people pay reparations after freedom? This is just crazy. You talk about the psychopathic mindset of the white people. You can't literally fathom this. It's crazy. These people just feed off Black people's energy. They live off the literally Black people's energy. How do you do this? This is crazy. How do I give you freedom, but I'm still going to make you pay for your freedom? It's crazy, man.
We collapse. And this is serious. France is in worse trouble than Greece was, except at the time, the European Union was so powerful at the time. But now the European Union was weakened by Brexit. The European Union has been weakened by Trump turning against them. So now the European Union, they're just running around like headless chickens. They cannot even bail France out. France is literally on the verge of collapse. And coming close after France is going to be the UK and Germany.
You want to talk about Black empowerment? Yeah. The Haitian Revolution? Yeah. The ancestors of Haiti, they woke up and revived the energy in African presidents in the Sahel region in West Africa, and they got the guts to kick away Macron. Macron has nothing to feed his people. And I tell you this for free. If you see Candace Owen, yes, we know she got beef with Macron, but if you see she's talking about
whatever I don't like the way she's talking, but I'm gonna fast forward it. This she's giving fake accent and all that. I don't like it.
In West Africa, France did not see what is happening in West Africa coming. So they find themselves at a time when they are very weak economically, when at home the population of immigrants is growing bigger and bigger. You go to cities such as Marseille, you find Algerians, you find Moroccans, you find Senegalese, you find Guineans, you find Burkinabe, and things are not happening as they used to be then.
Hey, France, what happened with you? Bro, our government is a mess and our prime minister got kicked out. That's the third prime minister to leave in less than a year. Wait, why? What's going on? What's the story? See that guy? He's our former prime minister, Francois Bayrou. And he was only the prime minister for like 9 months. But today, his government collapsed. And how? So he wanted to get like 43.8 billion euros in the budget. He wanted to cancel 2 public holidays and freeze social benefits. Oh, why? He said that this will make our economy better. But yeah, everyone hated it. But he suddenly got this brilliant idea to have something called a confidence vote, which basically means he asked the people in the government to vote if they still trust him or not. And he actually thought people would vote on his side, and they didn't. Bro, the right and the left of the country actually agreed on one thing. 2 people voted with him. So, saying bye to him. Oh,
France. 1 trillion in
Be better than him still.
Everybody needs to know what is happening in France. France is in a very big trouble. They have a debt of $3.1 trillion and their debt is increasing by every second. The government of France has...
Yeah, and I was just saying, as they talk about even their debt, I was seeing that literally, that is,
Tricky with that live, ain't you, Joby?
no, you better be on time. You better come on time. You're the late. But yeah, I was seeing that that is Putin's advice. As he had said earlier that the US is using crypto and stable coins to pay their debts. So, and apparently I've seen Nigeria also ordering something like that. So I'm trying to connect the dots and understand what is happening. But looking at what he's saying about France, of course, they don't have. Are they gonna pay their debts? They can't steal any more from Africa. African countries are kicking them out.
But they're gonna try. They're gonna try.
Well, time is up. Africans are tired of it. The audacity of always it's always the audacity of coming back and talking to African crazy, thinking they're not collecting the data. We don't understand what you're saying. You know.
Well, you just had it. You just had America and with Burkina Faso talking crazy again. Like the third or fourth time this week they went, well, we'll give you protection. Protection what? From the terrorists that you created? Yeah, in America, Donald Trump go to Burkina Faso again this week. That was last week talking about we're gonna give you protection if you give us all your resources. What are we talking about?
I've seen such a video on YouTube.
Crazy.
Just collapsed. This is after the Prime Minister of France was voted a vote of no confidence. Of recent, there has been a lot of protest in France, and the people in France are dissatisfied.
Let me explain something. Let me explain something. France has been living up in Africa forever. They've been living great lives, easy lives. They barely work because all the money came out of Africa. They've been living great lives in France. Almost free medical, great everything. And the African never knew that was off their backs. England, everybody living good off of African people's backs.
How the government is conducting itself. And they are saying that the next person who must be ousted out of France is Emmanuel Macron. So from the time France was chased out of Africa, it has been facing a lot of difficulties. Right. This is because their main source of income was coming from Africa. It is in Africa where they are getting cheap minerals to run their companies, and also all their African colonies were using their currencies, and that is how they are getting half of all the money they make in those colonies. But of recent, France has been chased out of Africa, and France is now facing a major economic problem. It is now starting to collapse, and they are saying this could be the start of so many collapse in Europe.
France's government is on the brink of collapse, and the situation is sparking global attention. The country is now drowning in a serious debt crisis. And it's not just France. Other European nations, especially the United Kingdom, are also facing mounting pressure. For decades, France relied heavily on...
No, they just ain't France, all of them. They were always poor countries, but they make a fake illusion when they stole Africa, gave fake history. Now the Africans wake up and that's our shit back. And since Africa's probably going to learn to fight, stop being fixed. And so Africa will be wealthy and Europe will be poor again.
African nations to sustain its economy. Do you know that 14 African countries have been handing over nearly 80% of their yearly revenues to France for more than 50 years? This arrangement made
80% of their wealth goes to France. Imagine how psychopathic you are and how moronic you are to give it. 80% of your country's wealth goes to white people to make them live good. Well, they talk crazy about you, call you backward, dumb, dirty African. Crazy.
African nations the backbone of France's economic stability. But now, many of those countries, such as Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Chad, and Senegal, have expelled France, cutting off that critical lifeline. The consequences are severe. France's debt has skyrocketed to 3.34 trillion euro. increasing at a staggering rate of €5,000 every second. Companies are fleeing the country, and without Africa's resources, France is struggling to sustain its citizens. Meanwhile, the United Kingdom continues to draw deeply from Nigeria, but experts warn that once Nigeria...
Exactly. Once Nigeria finally get its shit together, Nigeria should have been the power of the planet, but they're backward, they're stupid still. Exactly. But as soon as Nigeria, then Kenya, the rest of the British colonies like in Kenya, Nigeria, but really Nigeria's supposed to be a powerhouse. Go from 400 billion down to 200, 180 billion, whatever Joby said. They're supposed to be over $1 trillion plus in GDP, 5 or 6, 7 trillion in that country. But the British control all their stuff, and they got people like Tinubu and morons, Buhari, all these idiots.
Exactly. And like Ruto, like I told you earlier, I bet Ruto was wearing expensive glasses. So of course our people went and did their diggings. The glasses apparently cost $167,000. That is
yeah, damn, what?
$1,400. Yeah, that is what Ruto is worth.
But that's what all these African puppets do. Oh, I'm in the latest glasses. Look at me, the big Negro. We don't make them in Kenya. We don't make any brands that's worth any damn thing. I'll just take as a leader, you're supposed to make brands in your own country to make your country rich. But the morons.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Yogi.
Fully pushes back. Britain may face a similar crisis. What you're seeing right now is Europe being forced to reckon with decades of dependency on Africa, and the cracks are showing.
The one so-called superpower that colonized Africa and the Caribbean. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is Matkonda Esther. If you're new here, hi, welcome. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, like, comment, and share. Let me know what you think in the comment section about the...
I don't like the way she's talking. Why is she talking like that?
The date. You say we all...
Because she crazy. She Haitian.
Yeah, I'm gonna just fast forward.
Out in force, flying the tricolor on motorway bridges, their houses, and in the street.
C'est un mouvement qui s'inspire d'un autre mouvement qui est né en Angleterre, qui s'est développé.
Yeah, because I remember when I bumped, there's a video I bumped into some time back up on TikTok. It was talking about some parts of also like Europe being in the dark and all that. But they're not stealing enough cobalt anymore, to supply electricity. It is super crazy that these people have been doing this. And that's why I'm saying they've been feeding off the energy. They survive off the energy of Africa and its resources, the people, the continent itself, and the resources it bears, literally.
And the people, and they steal your resources, and they have you be their maid, Joey. You be their maids, their cooks, their cleaners, and then you bow down. Yes, white man. Yes, white daddy. You're better than me. You go to the school, give your fucked up Toms and your chocolate that comes from Africa, and shoes come from Africa. Ooh, aren't these white people great, Joey? Ooh.
Hey, okay. Who's saying this? Oh, okay. I thought so. All right. Kenyans are threatening Ruto anyway. But anyway, yeah. So literally, from that video we just shared, looking at what is happening in France, this white guy is talking about how they build a system that was supposed to destroy black people, but right now it's completely backfiring on them. And then it goes back to how we say they keep on contradicting their words. The lies are not matching up to the point. They have to speak the truth now. They don't know how to hide anymore. You just have to come blankly because your evilness has been printing, copy and pasting itself everywhere you go. So you can no longer hide your deeds to the point, no matter how many times you've been trying to cover it with different type of colors and shades or whatever, it's no longer going to be hidden and you can't hide yourself anymore. So you just have to come truly and cleanly with your true nature because this is who you are. But yes, this white man is talking about literally how they rigged the system against black people and it has backfired. But he's mixing with mixture of truth and lies, of course, for the media and all that I'd say. But he's talking literally facts if you catch up on what he's trying to mean.
So we members of the educated elite did some good things. We created the internet, brunch, and mocktails.
Yeah.
You're welcome. We did some bad things. We designed a meritocracy designed around the skills we ourselves possess and rigged the game so we succeeded and everybody else failed. By age 12.
Everybody else is Africans. Who is everybody else? I mean, as much as maybe other countries might have suffered in different ways with the wars they planted there, the most people who have suffered is Africans globally.
12 children, American children of affluent kids are 4 grade levels above everybody else. By university age, rich kids are 77 times more likely to go to university or to Ivy League university than kids from poor schools. In adulthood, 54% of the people at elite workplaces went to the same 34 elite colleges. So we ended up creating a caste system. People with high school degrees die 9 years sooner than people with college degrees. People with high school degrees are 5 times more likely to have kids out of wedlock. People with high school degrees are 2.4 times more likely to say they have no friends. So we created a caste system.
We already know you create a racial caste system. We know that's your nature. You know, to be unfair and unequal is your nature. So yeah, we don't know to be poor. Tell us that you're unfair and unequal. Everybody knows that. That's your culture. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, it just feel like that's what I'm saying. It's just more of that they can't hide anymore because their nature. It's like when you try to keep on hiding what we were talking even about yesterday, right? When you keep on trying to hide your character or some certain things, but
basically gonna come out.
Yeah, it's gonna come out. You can't keep on applying this about yourself yet. You know who you truly are. So that is what is basically now happening to these white people. They've been painting lies, copy and pasting lies over and over again, creating conspiracy theories, and all that. But now it's no longer conspiracy theory. They have to come out and say, hey, we did it. And I love the fact that the next video I'm gonna share, they're explaining everything. Literally, they're confessing to majority of the things they've been doing, killing children, rituals of blood and all that. You can't hide anymore, and it's just crazy because we'll go back to now when people were exposing this, the videos you can't trace anymore, the articles you can't trace anymore. They named all that conspiracy theory. So to the point now you have to, like what are the double standards for? If it's a conspiracy theory, stick to the conspiracy theory. So why are you coming to clarify the same conspiracy theories again? It's crazy.
But the worst things we did were not material. America has a very strong economy. The worst things we did were spiritual. We privatized morality and destroyed the moral order. George Marsden is a great historian who said, what gave Martin Luther King's rhetoric its power was the sense there's a moral order built into the universe.
They go to the Martin Luther King thing. No, take Martin Luther King because at that time, before you destroyed us, before you destroyed black people, we were the moral people of the planet. And so whatever we say gave legitimacy to whatever we would say because we were moral, we were upright, we were decent. But through social engineering, you changed and made us criminals and drug dealers and bad rappers and Negroes and niggas. That's what gave it. He had more authority. So when a Malcolm X or a Martin Luther King spoke, it was moral because we were moral people and the world knew that black Americans were moral. That's why our culture was the culture of the planet. They knew we were a moral people. It was spiritual because we were spiritually moral. We were considered very good people, very loving and honest people. Go ahead, Joker.
If slavery is not wrong, nothing is wrong. If segregation is not wrong, nothing is wrong. We took that essential moral order that holds people together and we decided it's up to you to find your own truth, find your own values. Back in 1955, a great American journalist named Walter Lippmann understood this was going to be a big problem. He said, if what is right and wrong depends on what each individual feels, then we are outside the bounds of civilization.
You guys have never created civilization. So that's right. You guys have never created civilization. You've stolen other people's mores, thoughts, and identity, literally identity. You guys have never created a civilization, ever. You claim your civilization from the Renaissance. That's not yours. That was from the Black Moors. That wasn't your civilization. You took what they taught you and then you ran with it. And then you tried to hide it, that they're the ones who brought it to you. It's crazy. Because that's your nature.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Joe.
Without a strong moral order, it's hard to have trust. It's hard to find your meaning in life.
Exactly.
So
A moral
America,
order.
and I think Britain too, has become a
Moral.
sadder society.
No, you were never moral.
Suicide.
You were never moral. You had the moral people in your country, which were Black Americans, African Americans. We were the moral people. You've never been moral. How could you be moral? You got slavery. You're shitting in people's mouths and taking out their teeth and putting it in your head and making people in the furniture and eating the bodies. You were never a moral people, ever. So let's stop acting crazy. You've never been moral, ever. No matter how many goopy Bibles you got.
Exactly. Yeah, because he's gonna try mix up that religion bullshit here. Like, nah, that is what they've been lying. That is what they've been.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, exactly. It's all a con game.
45% of high school students say they are persistently hopeless and despondent. Since 2000, the number of Americans without close personal friends is up by fourfold.
This is what that white Arab guy tells you. This is the devil's due. You can't think you're gonna get away with all these crimes you committed and not have no atonement, no payback. You can't admit you create all these crimes all over the planet. Your crimes, the genocides you've done, the crimes you've done have been too vast, too big, too astronomical, and not be held accountable. You gotta be held accountable. You don't want no. And one thing white people hate more than kryptonite and fire is accountability. Go ahead. I'm being
Since
accountable
2000,
for
the number
shit.
of people who say they are in the lowest happiness category is up by 50%.
America feels broken, and it is not just politics. It is our institutions, our economy, our social fabrics. But what if the root cause is not just corruption at the top, but a deeper betrayal? Today, we are breaking down David Brooks by the end. What?
Done, and this may not please you, is we produced Donald Trump. Some people think Donald Trump is a populist. Donald Trump and Elon Musk went to the University of Pennsylvania and Ivy League school and became billionaires.
I ain't talking about Donald Trump. I saw the one guy, the fake billionaire. That one. White guy's been the fake billionaire class. It's out to the white Arab again. Donald Trump is not an anomaly. Bill Clinton's no different. Obama's no different. Joe Biden is no different. George Bush is no different. Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton. The other Bush. Ronald Reagan raced his ass. Openly racist. What? Nixon. So don't try to say President Trump. They've all been wicked. I'm trying to say now that their time is up. It's Trump. All the presidents of America have been wicked. Every last one of them. Every last one have been slave catchers, slave holders, genociders, homicidal maniacs. Every last one of them. You can't find a decent one out the bunch. Hey, Joe, talking about sounds crazy.
J.D. Vance went to Yale. Pete Hegseth went to Princeton and Yale. Stephen Miller went to Duke. Fox News types like Laura Ingraham went to Dartmouth. And they represent the educated elite.
Oh, they went to all
the
the top
key factor of the educated elite is that they're not pro-conservative, they're anti-left. They don't have a positive vision, a conservative vision for society. They just want to destroy the institutions that the left now dominates. And this means, in the first place, they're astoundingly incompetent. I have a lot of sympathy with what drove people to vote for Trump, but I'm telling you, as someone who's on the front row to what's happening, do not hitch your wagon to that star. Thank you. You're supposed to boo.
America's been incompetent for a long time.
Gave away our bargaining chips with Putin before we even had negotiations. Elon Musk has 25-year-olds firing people who are controlling our nuclear codes. It's like Sam Bankman-Fried got control of our nuclear arsenal. Second, elite narcissism causes them to eviscerate every belief system.
You guys pop Elon Musk up. Elon Musk ain't never made shit. He's a moron. No. He's an idiot. How's he a billionaire?
That's the mixing of the lies and the truth. You know, we produced. How do you say? We produced Donald Trump and Elon Musk. They went to school together and became. Which part of producing them do you mean? Because this is where you go deep into question. Which part of do you mean you produced these two idiots? You need to explain into details. Like
they're evil.
They touch.
Conservatives
believe that healthy societies are built on healthy institutions. They're anti-institutionals. Conservatives believe in steady and gradual change. Edmund Burke. Their disruption. Conservatives believe in constitutional government. Donald Trump says, I alone can fix this.
No, they don't.
Conservatives believe in moral norms. They're destroying moral norms. The other belief system that they are destroying is Judeo-Christian faith. Judeo-Christian faith is based on service to the poor.
No, right, ain't the Judeo-Christian never been no service to nothing but service to power, service to imperial power. That's why Christianity endorsed slavery, endorsed stealing of Africa, why they own all the land in Africa, the theft and the stealing. What are you out of your mind? Christianity has never endorsed no poor. A Catholic Church is rich enough to get everybody poor money and not make them poor. Why they ain't do it then? So it was about getting rid of the poor. So that's a lie.
To the stranger. I went to Namibia, South Africa throughout the 1990s and 2000s, and I watched people die of AIDS. Then I went back with my friend Mike Gerson, and I saw those 25 million lives saved. I saw people living lives of dignity. And so what's the first thing Donald Trump did? He eviscerated that program. My friends in America are conservative evangelicals in government who
as I know this fake left-right thing is phony. They talking about that fake aid that they were getting to Africa to keep African people poor and spy on them. Africa don't need your aid. And it's the reason because the aid came is the reason why AIDS got there to begin with. Where did AIDS come from, white man? How did AIDS get in Africa? No, never mention now. How did this AIDS ravage Africa, who's conservative sexually? So, you know it could have been through sex because Africans are conservative sexually. They're not about all these perversions and other shit. So, that's a lie. So, it couldn't have no way possible be in the numbers it is today because Africa is sexually conservative. That's why when Joby goes to town, she gets weird looks if she wears a certain shirt. Africa is sexually conservative. So where did AIDS come from? See, the Africans ain't been able to critically think because you gave them some education. Because you know it didn't come from no African people because it's not in their nature sexually. So where did it come from? Go ahead, Joby.
That is why he's pushing that again. That's what I'm saying. He's mixing lies with the truth because I had to listen to all of it to understand what he's saying, but at the same time, he's mixing all these lies and the truth, trying to push this bullshit of AIDS came from Africa, from the monkey.
Yeah, from the monkey. Why a bunch of monkeys still got AIDS, Joby? Well, these monkeys have with the AIDS.
Even the deaths of HIV, they exaggerate that shit. The people with AIDS actually live very long. I don't know, somehow. Unless you're just eating fucked up, that's when you die super quick if you're not taking care of yourself. But based on the fact we have strong immunity, actually,
Malcolm X told you, watch out for the white liberals. These are they're worse than the white conservatives. Watch out for these white liberals. They're worse. The liars they tell.
Fight sex trafficking, poverty. They want to preserve national security. Donald Trump is declaring war on those Christians. So I've described three different things we educated elites brought you. We destroyed the social fabric through inequality. We destroyed the moral fabric through privatizing morality. And we destroyed the institutional fabric. What's happening right now? How can we come back? Well, we already are. I often ask people, tell me about a time that made you who you are as a human being. And they never say, I went on a fantastic vacation in Hawaii. They never say that. They say, I went through a really hard time. The death of someone, the loss of someone, moving away from home, entering a new vocation. Paul Tillich, the theologian, said those moments of suffering interrupt your life and they remind you you're not the person you thought they were. They carve through the floor of your basement of your soul and they reveal a cavity below, and they carve through that floor and they reveal a cavity below. In moments of suffering, you see yourself in a more deep way than you ever did before. And in those moments of suffering, you can either be broken or you can be broken open. And people who are transformed decide, I'm going to be broken open. And nations that are going to be transformed by moments of suffering say, we're going to be broken open.
Why Africans always supposed to be
periods of national crisis before. Across the world, nations have constantly hit a spiritual and cultural crisis and then revives. This country between 1820 and 1848. I was here in the 1980s. Britain recovered in the 1980s. Australia in the 1970s, Germany and Japan after World War II, South Korea in the 1980s, Rwanda after 1994, Chile in the 1990s. My own country, we've done this again and again. We've grown not through a happy, merry ride. We've grown through a process of rupture and repair when society and culture is in crisis and we figure it out. 1770s, the old colonial order had to go. Sorry. 1830s, the East Coast elite had too much power. Andrew Jackson brought in an era of populism. 1860s, the slavery order had to go. Abraham Lincoln brought forth national redemption.
Yeah, they lied. Abraham, pause that. Abraham Lincoln ain't do a goddamn thing. You lying, no good, dirty bastard. Abraham Lincoln talking about slavery was gotten away by Abraham Lincoln, who hated black people and never wanted to get rid of slavery. Now we can look at this Google ain't gonna hide that. Abraham Lincoln didn't get rid of no slavery. He said, I don't want to get rid of slavery if I can keep it. And I give the top spot in the world to white people, not black people. So what is he saying is a damn lie? Look this up, Joe. Just keep that there. We're going to juxtapose this goopy lie they tell. Shout out to Malcolm X. These no good, dirty ass liberals, lying ass bastard. What is up, Joe? Say, Abraham Lincoln, as Google said, Abraham Lincoln never intended to get rid of slavery. That's why we're trying to send black people back to Africa. He said, we can't even live with you dirty Negroes. You need to all get you back to Africa. This is Abraham Lincoln. He tried to make it like Abraham Lincoln was a freedom fighter for black people. Go ahead, Joe.
Although Lincoln personally abhorred slavery, he felt confined by his constitutional authority as president to challenge slavery only in the context of necessary war measures. That is what they're saying.
Yeah, he was saying he didn't want to get rid of no slavery.
Mm-hmm.
He never did get rid of no fucking slavery. Okay? White people always rewrite the narrative to make themselves the hero. That's what this man is doing. And he's one of the top educators. You don't learn to hear this bullshit in college. It's a goddamn lie. Lincoln was a no good, dirty ass racist cracker. Okay? Didn't want to free no slaves. The country was breaking apart because they wanted to punish the South about the money that the South was making over the northern parts of the United States. And so they were constantly having wars with the Geechee Gullah and the Black Seminoles. So they were warned because they couldn't keep Africans enslaved. Because Africans, they don't ever teach this part. Africans were in the plantations murdering these white people. They refused to be slaves. So it was constant warfare, and the white people were scared because Africans were killing their ass in their goddamn beds or poisoning their ass with the food. Africans said, we're not going to be slaves no fucking more. But they'll tell you, oh, it was the generous of a white man who freed the slave. And just to get all the Africans who had to go and chop off white people's heads and go to war with these motherfuckers. It was Abraham Lincoln and his goodness, that is where his goodness drove me. His morality. It said, oh, slavery's bad. This motherfucker never said that. He said, I would keep the African a slave if I could. Those are his words. So Lincoln is immoral. Not a moral bone in his body. Lincoln said, but you get all these fake Hollywood movies trying to make Abraham Lincoln some moral figure. That's a fucking lie. He was immoral. He told you, I would keep Africans as slaves if I could, and I would automatically give the top position to whites because blacks are inherently inferior to white people. Does that sound moral to you? He said black people are inherently, that means you're born, right? Inferior to the white man. That's what Lincoln said. So where's the morality this no good liberal ass bastard's talking about? They just make up all new fake history. Because they know you don't know. They've been giving you fake Lincoln movies. Listen to all them fake ass movies. It's like God. They give you fake Gandhis. All these fake people they make up. Right? These racist bastards. I was a kid, had me looking at Lincoln. Oh, Lincoln was a great man. Lincoln freed the slaves, and you start really learning. Like you start digging and falling in the money. Lincoln couldn't stand our black ass. He said, the black man is inherently inadequate, inferior, and I would give the top position to the white man. And really, it's abhorrent. He said it's abhorrent that white people even have to look at our black ass. Imagine this. He's called Lincoln a moral man. Lincoln said it's even bad that they had to look at our black ass. He said, I would like to send these niggas back to Africa if I could. That's what he said, Joey.
I remember we discussed this a couple of times.
Yeah. He's making up some new history. Oh, and the moral, and Lincoln and his morality, Joey. The fuck is he talking about? See, white people, they're naturally immoral. They just make up a whole new fake history. Put themselves in it. So they were the heroes. They freed slaves. They were good people. That's all a fucking lie. Go ahead, Joe.
90s, we had failed at industrialization. We had a civic renaissance of all these civic organizations that filled in the hole and created a sane society. 1960s, the conformist culture of the 1950s had to go. And we had the changes that came there. The temptation of those who don't read history is to think this time is different. We're in another period of rupture and repair.
But you don't want to make up history.
Resources. I'm conservative.
The ones that make up history, like all you white people, whether you're liberal or conservative, you people make up history, put your names on it, and then try to fool everybody with your fake history. So out to the white Arab guy said it too. You guys make up history, fake history, and then expect everybody to agree with it. Okay. Well, you make yourself the hero when you're always the fucking villain. You motherfuckers are the villains. You motherfuckers are the villains, not the hero. But in your history, you're always the hero. You motherfuckers are the villains. Go ahead.
I believe that we are inheritors of a great spiritual legacy, what Michael Oakeshott called the Great Conversation. We have the voice of Genesis, that we're all made in God's image. That's the foundation of democracy. We have the voice of Exodus, that we wander through the wilderness and eventually get to the promised land.
They always throwing that goofy Bible and ain't never made them just and right. Oh, it's the voice of Genesis. It's the voice of Exodus. And why you're killing motherfucking kids right now in Palestine? Is that the voice of Genesis? Is that the voice of Exodus? Fuck out of here with that. Shout out to that white Arab, get all your shit is fake. Fuck out of here.
We have the voice of Jesus, even if you're not Christian. Blessed are the meek, blessed are the poor in spirit. That's a source of great strength. In my country, we have the voice of Alexander Hamilton.
This shit, see,
boys and girls should rise and
don't listen to what they say. See, this is all these good words. They always do that double speak. Listen to what. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. All these bullshit words, they never agree with none of them. They still, right now, they're trying to go to Venezuela right now. And all the liberals and the conservatives agree. They're trying to invade a country and then lie about them saying they got drugs, which is a lie, because they want to steal their gold and their oil. Isn't that funny? liberal and conservative agree. So don't ever listen to this fake ass Jesus and Genesis while they read this fake ass book of fucking fairy tales. Because their nature has never been none of this shit. It's a book of fairy tales. You might as well read Hickory Dickory Dock. The goddamn mouse ran up the clock. Get out of here with that shit. Go ahead.
See, we have the voice of Edmund Burke. That we should be modest about what we can know because culture is really complicated and we should operate on society the way we would operate on our father, gradually and carefully. We have the voice of John Stuart Mill. We value diversity and pluralism because it leads to what he called adventures in living. When you have a spiritual, moral, and relational crisis, the job is to shift the culture. And we are moving, I think, from a hyper-individualistic culture the last 60 years toward a communal culture. I didn't like the social justice movement, but it was an attempt to find community. Not particularly a big fan of MAGA, but it's an attempt to find community.
He didn't like the social. See, social justice means the Africans, like Americans. Okay, you guys want to say like Americans say we want justice. See, he didn't like that. He just told you I didn't like this. He says I don't like the social justice movement. Black people say we want to be treated fairly, not shot in the street. He didn't like that. But he's claiming this Jesus and this morality shit. He didn't like, the social justice movements for black people fighting in the streets that we're not going to be murdered, killed, and treated like shit. That's when you got your Black Panthers. Joe Biden shows a video. Say, hey, you niggas, put down your guns. Nah, we're not putting down shit. That's the social justice movement. He didn't like that because black people were saying we're going to take back our power and be equal no matter what. He didn't like that. But he's talking about this morality shit. Always catch the double speak these no good, dirty liberals do in your face. As Malcolm X told you, these liberals are worse than these fake conservatives. So he has no unity with you. And he's talking about this moral time. See, morality means to him when black people were still poor, could be their slaves and be their maids and clean like their period panties. Joe was talking about yesterday. We could wash their clothes and be under them. And that's when it made him feel good. That's when he was more when black people put in their place, supposedly. Us on the bottom. As he told you. He didn't agree with that. He didn't agree with black people fighting for their rights. Because without us fighting, we would still been back there under Jim Crow. So that means this moron agreed with Jim Crow and the black code. If Joby's standing in the middle, if Joby's walking the store, I say, hey, ma'am, where you going? Well, I'm going to the store to get my something to eat. Oh, no, you're not. You don't got no job. Where's your job at? What do you mean? Oh, well, no. You're going to jail. You're going to jail now, and you're going out there to work on the field. Okay? And well, what do you mean I'm going to work on the field? Yeah, you are. How long? Until we say so. That's how long. Mm-hmm. That's that shit he's talking about. Mm-hmm. That's that shit he's talking about. Go ahead, Joe.
Let me share it a little bit, then I go to the next video. But shout out to Jason, shout out to the Welfare King. Hope you're doing great today. Nice to see y'all. Shout out to the Real Constrictor. Shout out to John Mosquito. Karibuni sana. He says, Welfare King says, Caucasian had civilization in caves until Keith convinced me going into cave with him to give them melanin, smelling all the dead animals. It's your fault, Keith. And you blame yourself too. And I also see Real Constrictor. Jason says that's why Lincoln on the pantry is facing the opposite direction from Silver Change. Okay. And yeah, let me play it a little bit, then we continue with the next video.
Culture change is about a shifting of the heart. It's about providing new answers to the question, how should I live my life?
They are the ones who have shifted all the cultures. This idiot's talking about culture shifting is all about the heart.
Exactly.
They can all
what heart? What heart? They never had no heart. This dude just is racist. I sent you a video. I want you to did you see that sent you on TikTok when that black girl knocked out that white lady being racist? Hey lady, leave me alone. Give me 20 feet. Did you see it?
No, I've not gotten.
I'll send it to you on WhatsApp. I want you to play it. Say, leave me alone. Back up. She came up. Of course, white people came up on that girl, knocked her ass out.
It's about soulcraft, and it isn't done the way you do political change. Culture change works differently. It's done, as Walter Batchett put it, if you want to win people over, enjoy the things that conservatives enjoy. Culture changes when a creative minority find a beautiful way to live. Culture changes when a small group of people find a better way to live and the rest of us copy. That's the story of the early church. It's the story of the Clapham sect.
The early church.
The story of Bloomsbury.
The churches all had slavery. They didn't know slavery was wrong. The early church. Get out of here with that shit.
By William F. Buckley, it's the story of the conservative movement in America. Culture changes on a personal level. When we relate to each other with attentive and generous gaze, Simone Weil said, attention is the purest form of generosity. Culture changes on a spiritual level. T.S. Eliot said, you can't create a system so perfect that the people in it don't have to be good. It's when you put moral formation at the center of your society. And finally, it happens at the civic level.
And you never been good.
1,000 voices and 1,000 different organizations create civic institutions.
You've never been good.
Provide healing and relationship in society. That's how culture changes. I was at a bar about 2 months after October 7th. And if you had seen me there, you would have thought,
do you remember this?
Drinking alone.
So pause this. Remember, he said October 7th, the fake Israeli invasion by the Palestinians, the fake. So he was at a bar. Remember, so October 7th is the scam. That's allowed them to genocide all these people. All right? So let's see what he says about October 7th, which was a scam, because remember, Hamas was created by Israel. So the idea that they're supposed to invade, that terrorist group, they call it terrorists that invaded Israel, which is all fake and phony. How they get gliders when the place is like a lockdown prison. And anyway, Hamas is controlled and created by Israel. So let's see what this moron says.
I call it reporting. So I'm scrolling through Twitter, and it has all these brutal images from the Middle East. But I come across a video of James Baldwin. And he says,
another black guy.
There isn't as much humanity as one would like.
See, they always got to go to black people before they destroyed us with the social science. And so they got to go to black people in the 40s and 50s because we were moral. So they always got to go with this. I went to James Baldwin to read his moral speech about us being all wicked and fucked. Remember, James Baldwin all damned in the hell. Said they were all racist and fucked up. He didn't read that part. Very joke.
But there's enough. And what you've got to remember is that when you walk down the street, every person you meet, you could be that person. That could be you. You could be that monster. You could be that saint. You could, and you have to decide who you're going to be. Now, James Baldwin was treated shabbily by my society because
of course he was. Because he was black. Of course he was treated shabbily. Of course, at least he was shabbily. That's a nice word. No, he was treated like a no good, dirty nigga. He wasn't treated shabbily. Oh, he was treated shabbily by my society. But you said it was good back then, though. That's what you just said. Those were the good times. And remember, James Baldwin was about social justice, which you said you did. See, that's why they don't want to educate you. Remember, he just said he didn't like social justice. He was against that movement. But James Baldwin was highly in that movement. And now you want to go back and read James Baldwin. That's why James Baldwin was in the movement, because he was getting treated like a no good, dirty nigga. And he said that. He said, no matter what I am, an author, a black man, but I'll never be out of being a nigga by these people. So now he said so he was against James Baldwin in the movement, but he wants to go back and change and quote James Baldwin. You see how contradictory and retarded this sounds?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Good.
Themselves.
Right to be bitter. But even in that circumstance, he uttered the ultimate humanist statement. You could be that person could be you. And the phrase that rang in my head when I heard that was defiant humanism. That even in harsh and brutal times, we're called upon to see each other in the fullest, deepest, and most respectful way that God imagined that they would be seen. Thank
But you never did. But you never did that. They always go back to black people you never did none of that shit James talked about. He left. He said America's a rotten, racist ass beast of a country. No matter if I'm an accomplished author, I'll be nothing more than a dirty nigger and told to walk around to the back of the restaurant and sit in the toilet while they serve me doo-doo. That's what he said.
Exactly, you're still a nigger. So
yeah, they never changed. Society never changed, yo. But think about, we must be moral in society. Get your ass out of here.
They have destroyed, like he said. I love the fact he was honest to say. I think in simple terms, critical thinking. What I keep on talking about. They took away morality, which is once you take away morality, people can accept anything. They can't even understand what is immoral. That's why I'd say in simple terms, it's so hard.
They never been moral.
Yeah, it's so hard for people. That's why people are confused with which country is specifically getting attacked. Like what is happening to Hamas, what is happening to Iran, what is happening to Sudan.
No moral country creates something called the CIA to rob and steal from people, Joby.
Yeah, so they have ensured that they have taken so much from people to the point what was specifically seen at the beginning about
just the morality, about us being good and losing our way. We need to get back to our moral. When you have been moral? What year was this? Let me write it down. You got slavery, bitches raping of black women, ripping babies out of black women's stomach, stomping on their head with horses, feeding babies to alligators. Tell me the day you was moral. What day? I missed this day. When you were killing and murdering innocent men, women, children, hanging them from trees, and then cooking them, and then eating their bodies, their flesh, and smiling and having picnics. What day, what year were you moral? I just want to ask. I'm asking for a friend. What day was this morality you're talking about? What country was this?
Exactly.
When you were chopping out black people's private parts, cutting out black women's breasts, and cutting out black men's penises, and putting it in jars, and passing around your damn neighborhoods and your old ass people and shit. What days were these? I just want to know. I'm asking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they have lacked morality since their existence, and this video, this video I think explains so much more. So apparently there was a meeting that Xi Jinping, Putin, and
there you go again. I ain't seen him. So you showed him a while.
There was a meeting Putin, Xi Jinping, and I don't know the other president. I don't know. I keep on forgetting his name, but there were three of them, and of course these are.
I think it was Modi from India.
Okay, yeah. So usually they were discussing about how the West and the rest of the majority of European countries have been having this blood sacrificial, things going on, and also talking about the created labs like the one in Ukraine, and how the US is so behind this, of course, including the cats with the small hats. But yeah, let me just share it, then I explain deeper on what I understood personally.
Putin has seen enough. The blood, the children, the lies. For years, the West mocked the whispers of a satanic cabal.
Even celebrities, because I saw a celebrity, damn, even celebrities are doing this. I mean, I thought it was only the politicians. So in this video, actually, you've seen some celebrities. This is
you can't be a celebrity. We're talking about Joe. Who think runs the celebrity? Cat, you can't be highly a celebrity without having to do the wicked shit, Joby, or you gotta go.
Yeah, I thought it was just the DDs and all that, but this is crazy.
But now the mask is slipping, At a military parade in Beijing, marking the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II, an open microphone caught what was never meant to be heard. Putin, Xi, and Kim, three men cast as villains by the West, speaking in hushed tones about the unthinkable, child trafficking on a global scale, and the adrenochrome empire that fuels the cabal. That was the moment the illusion shattered. For Putin, the rumors were confirmed. The horror is real, the network is vast, and it can't be fought by one nation alone. That's why he first created the Adrenochrome Task Force, an elite Spetsnaz unit forged to destroy the trade. But even they found the monster too large to slay in isolation. Now, a new axis of resistance has risen. Russia, China, and North Korea, not united for conquest, but for justice, bound by one vow, to drag the cabal's crimes into the light and bring its empire crashing down. The only question is, when the truth finally breaks through, will the world be ready to see it? Before we dive in, a quick word about our partner, VP.net, the next generation of private browsing. VP.net is the only VPN designed with true zero logging architecture. That means, unlike other VPNs, it literally can't track you. So even if governments or bad actors come knocking, there's nothing to hand over. It's that simple. Your data stays yours, period. As the West normalizes the unthinkable, harvesting children's blood and speaking of adrenochrome as if it were medicine, Russia has drawn a line. It's not normal, Putin declares. It's evil, and it will not be tolerated. While celebrities like the Kardashians flaunt the practice, and billionaires like Peter Thiel spend fortunes treating children's blood as a luxury, Putin has taken the opposite path. He has vowed to confront the trade head-on. From that vow came the Adrenochrome Task Force, an elite Spetsnaz unit built to disrupt, dismantle, and destroy the trafficking networks behind the
most creamiest adrenochrome was the black little girls, and then black boys and all other little kids. But the majority, they want the black girl first, and the black boy. That's the most creamiest.
Smashing the hub in Ukraine, tearing apart Israeli channels funneling the product into Europe and the US, and waging a war the Western media will never admit exists. But the victories are real, and the cabal is reeling. On Wednesday, the illusion cracked. At a grand military parade in Beijing, marking the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II, an open microphone caught what was never meant to be heard. Vladimir Putin, China's Xi Jinping, and North Korea's Kim Jong-un, three men branded as villains by the West, were caught in a private conversation. They weren't speaking of missiles or armies, their words cut darker. They spoke of the cabal's horrific trade, the blood harvest hidden in plain sight. And then came the scorn. The three leaders mocked Western elites.
They know they're all dirty, nasty pedophiles.
Media rushed to bury the story, ordered to spin it into oblivion. The truth can't be denied. The hot mic revealed more than whispers. It marks the birth of something new. A war alliance forged in defiance, with Putin, Xi Jinping, and Kim Jong-un standing shoulder to shoulder. Their mission, to finish what Putin began, to crush the satanic cabal that sips the blood of children and feasts on their flesh. And as this axis of resistance takes shape, one figure watches from the outside. President Trump, once positioned to challenge the cabal, now left to read the choice of tying himself to Netanyahu's sinking ship, instead of joining the alliance that might
he's with it. He can't, because he's a no good dirty pedophile too.
Is out of control. What was once dismissed as rumor or fringe conspiracy has now grown into a global industry. Children stolen, trafficked, and bled to feed the insatiable appetite of the cabal. It stretches from royal palaces to hidden labs buried under the soil of Ukraine, from Silicon Valley boardrooms to Hollywood mansions.
Right out. So that pack costs 20,000. Yeah. Is that for like baby organs and shit like that? It's like adrenochrome. All right, so I'm doing an adrenochrome, $20,000 IV. Basically,
How about we actually say adrenochrome?
Yeah, that's legal.
Is it?
Do you have to murder kids for that?
I think so.
yeah.
I think it's like what like presidents do and shit.
Yeah, so I'm doing the presidential IV.
Biden definitely doesn't do that.
Obviously. And now the elites aren't even pretending to hide it. They flaunt their appetite for children's blood, dressing it up as science, fashion, even wellness. The normalization of paedophilia is almost complete, woven into the culture like a poison no one dares name. After the break, we're pulling back the curtain on the bombshell they tried to bury. A leak straight from inside Putin's adrenochrome task force. Classified files, names, targets, and networks already dismantled. And the ones still thriving in Hollywood and Washington, D.C. Before we go on, have you...
Chuck Norris. No, we've not heard about Chuck Norris.
I recently watched a video he dropped. He says he feels you need to see it now. It's simple, no cutting edge. Russia has branded them for what they are, crimes against humanity.
Peter Thiel is very, very interested in young people's blood. The contrarian venture capitalist believes transfusions may hold the key to his dream of living forever. Billionaire PayPal founder admits to drinking children's blood. The billionaire founder of PayPal, Peter Thiel, has admitted to drinking the blood of teenagers in a bid to extend his own lifespan. The 48-year-old has funded startups dedicating to extending the human lifespan and claims that people are conned by the idea of the inevitability of death. During an interview with Inc.com's Jeff Bercovici, Thiel admitted that he harvests young blood and infuses himself with it in a practice known as parabiosis.
Remember, that's the same thing Epstein was with that shit too. So they know that if you get the blood cells of young children, it revitalize their old wicked ass, their old wicked ass bloodstream. They know that. Adrenochrome. That's why it's called. That's why we're on Chromebook, Google Chrome. They put it right in your face. Go ahead, Joe.
Science has come to creating an anti-aging panacea. According to reports, Thiel spends $40,000 per quarter to get an infusion of blood from a teenager during the process of parabiosis, which means the biological joining of two individuals.
And I don't believe it's no teenager. I believe it's I believe they're children. 6, 5, 7. They try to make it sound as less bad. A teenager? Nah. If you call a 6-year-old a teenager, okay. Go ahead.
The aging parabiosis could lead us to a dystopian future where the wealthy who wish to live forever will thrive on the blood of the poor.
No wonder Putin is furious. The Western elite bow before false gods, chasing immortality while draining the blood of children to fuel their delusion. Worse still, they've lied for decades, denying the existence of the biolabs, the breeding camps, and the factory farms that feed this empire of horror. But the lie can't hold forever. As Putin himself declared, the vampire ball is over.
As Clandestine pointed out on Twitter, all of these agents of evil, Big Pharma, the mainstream media, the deep state in Washington, Zelensky, and the WHO are all working together to cover up their crimes. Russia isn't the villain here. Our own government is. Russia may have even had an obligation to fight back against the bioterrorism America is apparently conducting in Ukraine.
Biolabs, organ harvesting, breeding camps, adrenochrome manufacturing, eugenics. Everything terrible, unethical, and anti-human under the sun. The West calls them conspiracy theories. But Putin's adrenochrome task force has seen them up close. Facilities hidden in war zones, secret bunkers shielded by NATO contracts, research projects run under the guise of medicine. Biolabs where children are experimented on like lab rats. Organ harvesting rings supplying the ultra-wealthy with fresh hearts, livers, and lungs. breeding camps designed to manufacture life only to destroy it, and underground factories churning out adrenochrome like an industry, processed, packaged, and shipped across borders as though it were any other commodity. And as Russia has pointed out, it all goes back to Obama, the head of the snake, who was instrumental in setting up the industry.
Those biological and chemical weapons facilities the mainstream media won't talk about? Yeah, they're real. And there's a good chance they were even instrumental in cooking up COVID-19. Independent journalist Clandestine exposed the evidence on Twitter, pointing out the whole operation started back in 2005, when then Senator Barack Hussein Obama took a trip to Ukraine with Senator Richard Lugar to inspect former Soviet weapons facilities. In reality, the U.S. was taking control of these top secret bioweapons facilities, complete with a fully stocked arsenal of the deadliest nuclear and chemical weapons on the planet. And for the next decade and a half, top secret U.S. government research was carried out in these labs without any oversight or accountability. That's how Joe Biden and his son Hunter were able to get their foot in the door with Hunter's company, Metabiota. Hunter's firm, Rosemont Seneca, actually invested $500,000 in the San Francisco pathogen research company, Metabiota, working in Ukraine, on top of millions in additional funding he secured through other firms like Goldman Sachs. The situation came to a head in 2014 when Obama's regime, including the CIA and Assistant Secretary of State Victoria Nuland, toppled Ukraine's democratically elected government with a fake civil war. A leaked phone call actually exposed Nuland plotting how Ukraine's new government should work.
I don't think cleats should go into the government. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's a good idea.
Flash forward to 2022, when Washington vehemently denied there were any biolabs in Ukraine or that the U.S. had anything to do with them, mocking the people who question the narrative as nothing more than dirty conspiracy theorists.
As I told Jim Mosquito, they always call us dirty conspiracy theories. So Jim Mosquito, do you always have to be dirty? Yes. Good.
We are not developing biological or chemical weapons inside Ukraine. It's not happening.
But that story didn't stick for long, and good old Victorian Nuland, under pressure from Senator Marco Rubio, finally cracked and admitted that, yes, there are in fact bioweapons labs in Ukraine.
Does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
Ukraine has biological research facilities.
And they denied all this, Lisa.
Which, in fact, we are now quite concerned Russian troops, Russian forces may be seeking to gain control of.
No,
so
Putin,
we are
because Putin told you that they were doing it and they had it on his border, trying to kill Russian people. You said they didn't exist. And then when Putin started finding them, now she's got to make, well, we might have a Russian, Ukrainian lab, and we're worried about the Russians finding them and getting control of and using them against us. But then, isn't that what you was doing? Yeah, but so what? Go ahead.
with the Ukrainians on how they can prevent any of those research materials from falling into the hands of Russian forces should they approach.
So these labs are so dangerous, in fact, that the State Department is terrified the Russians might get their hands on them.
When Russia's special forces finally breached the sites, the horror became undeniable. Hardened soldiers, men who'd seen war, blood, and death, were shaken to their core. They described scenes too hideous to forget. Children emaciated, their veins tapped and drained like livestock. Entire supply chains struggling to keep pace with the cabal's insatiable demand for blood. And those no longer useful, discarded like trash, left to rot as if their lives had never mattered.
Группа, да, получается, собирала детей казенных, маленьких от 3 до 6 до 7 лет, и привозила именно вот в этот пункт. Там их раздевали на первом этаже, а на втором их раздевали. Как ненужный материал, их просто хранили там в ямах или никуда не вывозили. И вот эти ребята, они, знаете, говорили, как будто они как будто какую-то скотину завалили, поросенка или там кролика, да. Ну, они, да, привозили. Как будто какая-то ферма, понимаете? Вот эта имплантация, забирали органы. Слышал об этом, но не верил. Пока своими глазами не увидишь, не поймешь. А когда увидишь, не простишь.
And the horrors didn't end there. What Russia uncovered went far beyond trafficking and blood. Inside the seized biolabs, evidence pointed to something even more catastrophic: the origins of COVID-19 itself. The same facilities where children were drained and discarded were also incubating the virus that would later sweep the globe.
And as it turns out, the Russians were right. Because according to official documents uncovered by investigators at the expose, government funding records showed the Department of Defense awarded $370,000 to biolabs in Ukraine for COVID-19 research in November of 2019. For anyone keeping track, that's 3 months before the WHO officially even named the Chinese virus COVID-19. But you won't find it now, though, because the very day the conflict with Russia started, Zelensky ordered all these documents on Ukraine's biolabs and their ties to Hunter Biden to be destroyed.
The West can spin, deny, and distract, but the truth is out. From the blood harvest to the biolabs, from the factory farms to the billionaires flaunting their addiction, the sickness of the cabal is no longer hidden. And now, the tide has turned. Putin has seen enough. His adrenochrome task force has already shattered the cabal's foundations. And with Xi Jinping and Kim Jong-un at his side, a new axis of resistance has formed. An iron alliance sworn to end the blood trade once and for all. This is the beginning of the reckoning. And when the hammer falls, it won't just be Russia's fight, it will be humanity's deliverance. Here at The People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the crimes of the elites, but we need your help. Subscribe to the channel, tell your friends and family about us, and join the People's Voice Locals community for exclusive and uncensored content. We can't do it without you.
Yeah, so that's the end of that video, literally showcasing, again, feeding how they've been feeding on energy of innocent people, you know, creating all this wars, destruction in different ways, feeding off the energy of people to keep the narrative they've been keeping so that they can be in control. But the time is up. I just wonder how long it's gonna take. If we can literally witness them collapsing, them being wiped out, it would be really, really amazing. It would be historical to see this race just wiping off itself, because their birth rate is already low. So to be just nice to see them dying without us even putting in war, you know, without any struggle, just the universe playing its part. It would be super, super great. But before we go to the next conversation, we have Jiba Jaba Karibu Sana says, remember Dick Clark, he never aged. I have to check this, you know. But also says, no wonder vigilant blood draw centers are in majority black neighborhoods. I think that's what I meant. And also
remember, everybody you got right now, there's a shout out to people who understand what's happening in Kenya. It has nothing to do with anybody making mistakes. There's an open organ harvesting racket going on in Kenya right now to steal the organs and ship up to those same places in Kenya right now. So shout out to Lynn Googie, who did those things that don't get in no car with no stranger. And shout out to Dr. Member, said don't trust no women. Don't get in no car with no women. Think they like you. I'm attracted to you. But so what? Don't get in no car. Don't trust no women. Men, don't get in no car with no strange women you don't know. But she wants to meet you somewhere. You tell her ass, kiss your ass. No, I don't know you. You mean you nowhere.
Mhm. But we have Taylor Perry, who has been accused of sexual assault. I want us to talk about that as well. Earlier today, we had
Shit, how many times is this going on? He been charged so many times of trying to get somebody's booty. It's crazy.
Mhm. Yeah, we have a man suing him for sexual assault, allegedly, and harassment, speaking out on
Yeah,
an
he loves he loves man ass. No, try to pretend he don't. He loves man ass. Can I get some of that man ass?
crazy.
That's right. It's crazy. Man ass. Though.
Bed and I noticed that he climbed in well and started rubbing my leg, and I jumped up out of bed.
Oh, so is this a white guy?
Yeah.
So the white guys get him on. Now you had so many black guys came out told them that Tyler Perry was trying to get in their booty, but the white guy's gonna get. See, now you messed up. You mess with the guys got the complexion for the protection. No matter how much white Hollywood give you, they'll take all of it from you. Now you've been rubbing his leg and trying to sniff his underwear and put his ball sack in your mouth without his permission. Good luck to you, Tyler Perry. Go ahead, Joe.
Or they have their control over their bodies taken away. You don't really understand the kind of feelings that you get in that moment.
Can you explain that first alleged incident?
Tyler Perry believes that he is being extorted.
You described your actions as extortion. Were you looking for money to buy your silence?
No, I think I was looking for accountability.
After his essay accuser initially requested around $50 million to keep quiet, claims he changed his mind and filed a $250 million lawsuit against Tyler Perry and Tyler Perry Studios because he wanted to make them take accountability.
I think what he did was wrong, and it needed to be something that would deter him from doing this to somebody else.
A recent interview, Tyler Perry's essay accuser Derek Dixon detailed 2 times he alleged that Tyler Perry essayed him.
We're having some drinks in his guest house, and I got in bed, and then I noticed that he climbed into bed with me as well, and started rubbing my leg. And I jumped up out of bed, said, turn around so I can look at you, and on how I looked, and then he got up and left.
Claims that both incidents went down at Tyler Perry's home after a night of drinking. The first time he claims Tyler Perry hopped in the bed and rubbed his leg. He then claims he jumped out of bed. Tyler Perry, what was he doing? Tyler Perry made him spin around and show his little cake sauce. And the situation de-escalated from there. Claims after that, he went back to Tyler Perry's house again, which is super weird. He claimed that they were looking at some type of machine required you to get into your undergarment. Claims after he got into
Why would you go back again? Exactly. But he's right. It sounds like a lie. Why would he go back again? Go ahead, Joe.
He reached down and pulled my underwear down and grabbed me, and I, tried to stop him and pull back my underwear arms and said, no, it's okay.
Pull back my underwear. So this is worth $250 million. Him touching your knee is supposed to be touching your underwear.
Able to distract Tyler Perry, then locked himself in a bathroom at Tyler Perry's house. After that incident, the next day, Tyler Perry called him to apologize and said he didn't know what he was thinking. Then went on to say how Tyler Perry agreed to work with him on a screenplay he had been writing. I'm not here to discount anybody's experience, but in my mind, he went through a bad experience at his house once while drinking. Why would you go back and do it again a couple of months or a couple of weeks later?
Exactly.
Tyler Perry was trying to say to me because while working on a show for Tyler Perry, he allegedly got pow 4 times in the chest, and Tyler Perry allegedly told him that if he acted good, his character wouldn't be killed off the show. Tyler Perry has yet to directly address these allegations, but a rep for him has spoken out denying all of the claims and claiming that Derek's behavior has been extortive, considering the fact that he changed his initial $50 million claim to a $250 million claim. Now, I'm curious to know what y'all think regarding this. Let me know down in the comments, y'all. Peace. Tyler Perry believes that he is being extorted.
I'm not a lawyer, but an actor named Derek Dixon, who played the role of Dale on the BET series The Oval, recently filed a lawsuit against Tyler Perry, and I read all 46 pages of the complaint. So let me tell you why Derek Dixon is suing Tyler Perry for $260 million. Okay. And it really comes down to what the lawsuit says was Tyler Perry promising Derek creative opportunities, such as getting a role in a show or him promising to make a show Derek created, but it would require Derek having to deal with the harassment, assault, battery, and professional retaliation from Tyler Perry. The lawsuit starts with how Derek first met Tyler Perry, which was in 2019 at an event at Tyler Perry Studios. At the time, Derek was working for an event company that Tyler used for his events, And on the day of this event, Derek says Tyler, quote, picked him out of a crowd of employees and began asking him about his employment status and if he wanted to be an actor. At the end of the party, Tyler insisted that him
You want to be an actor, I guess, as long as you give me some of them butt cheeks.
I'm just listening to this and I remember that guy. Is it Nick? What is the name? Nick Shannon? Is it Nick Shannon? What's the name of the? I don't know. I mentioned the wrong guy. Who's the guy with Cat Williams?
Dr. who? Dr. what?
The guy with Cat Williams' famous interview. That.
Oh, talking about talking about Shannon Sharp.
Yeah. I don't know why I said Shannon. Yeah, Shay, Clap Shay. I'm just remembering of that. So.
Well, that was a woman. That was a woman, not a man. That woman's talking all crazy, reckless about. I want you to put your big black steak in my. What you say? I want you to put your big black tube in my. What you say? In my gravy. Put your big black baby. I want you to put your gravy in my big black baby. It was some crazy shit. Let this motherfucker talk all crazy to you.
And almost immediately, the two began texting. According to the suit, in some of these text messages, Tyler would be asking Derek about his dreams and aspirations, as well as his interest in writing and acting. And then one day, the lawsuit says that Tyler asked Derek to send him an acting audition over the phone, but Derek tells him he's at a Halloween party. So Tyler replied, asking to see pictures of Derek in his costume. Derek sends the pictures, and then the lawsuit says that Tyler responded saying, quote, I was going to say, your cowboy needs a sugar daddy. You look great. You're just lacking costume parts. Sorry, don't want to offend. Derek replies to this message saying, not at all. It's so true. Half-assed costume. And then Tyler Perry responds saying, what's true? Cowboy needs a sugar daddy. According to the lawsuit, this comment Perry.
See what they do? The white guy setting them up anyway because you know it's true. Because why would I approach some guy who's an event planner for me and now you find him in movies and doing Tyler Perry shit? So you know. Logically, he's white. We know Tyler Perry was trying to get some of that white sausage in his butthole, right? Or I don't know. I don't know. Tyler's the giver or the taker. Maybe Tyler was trying to get some of that butthole. Either way, that's what they do, Joe. We're not children here, Joe, but that's what they do. They play in each other's assholes.
You don't pay me to be born in America. I'm good in Kenya. I'm good here. We're at least the majority of morons. We're majority of morons not to know this kind of deep shit like this. You know, at least our mind. You know,
I know, Joe. I know, Joe. We took away your innocence. I know, but it's life.
Now, shortly after this interaction, the lawsuit says that Tyler Perry held another event at his house and specifically requested for Derek to work the event, which meant he had to be flown from LA to Atlanta to be there. Now, follow.
Being flown from, you know, even men are being flown from. Men are being flown out too.
That event.
But
communications between the two of them continued, and during one text exchange, Tyler told Derek he would love to find him a job and change his life. He went on to say, quote, be careful hanging around me. I cause dreamers to dream big. I cause them to not only believe, but do. Then he says, you're an artist. You have to be fulfilled. Nothing else will suffice. The lawsuit says after that text exchange, Derek received an offer to play the part of a character named Dale in Tyler's TV series, Ruthless. So Derek does the role, and about 1 month after filming that show, the suit says that Tyler Perry bought Derek a car because he, quote, hated Derek's Jeep. So more calls, conversations, and events happened, and according to Derek, the conversations with Tyler Perry started to get strange. The suit says in one text, Tyler said, quote, I can't tell you the last time I pumped gas or went to the supermarket or flew commercial or packed a bag or had good mex. It was before I was rich. Derek says he thought the messages were strange coming from Tyler, but he decided to downplay them in hopes that he would be able to showcase his acting and writing talents off to Tyler. Now, a few months after that text exchange, Tyler Perry invited Derek to his house. Derek goes over, they have some drinks, and the conversation was overall pretty friendly. However, according to the lawsuit, at the end of the night, Tyler Perry invited Derek to stay over since they had been drinking, and Derek goes to a guest bedroom where he strips down to his underwear because he didn't have pajamas and gets in the bed to go to sleep. According to the lawsuit, while Derek was laying in the bed, Tyler Perry came and slipped in behind him and started rubbing Derek's inner thigh. The suit says Derek jumped out of the bed and told Tyler that he wasn't trying to do that, but Tyler allegedly ignored him and instead told him to turn around so Tyler could see him in his underwear. And while Derek was telling Tyler he didn't want to do anything, he was also trying not to insult Tyler since Tyler was, quote, dangling his career in front of him. Now, this lawsuit doesn't say how that night ended, but it goes on to say that Derek would frequently tell Tyler that he didn't want to do anything with him, but Tyler would respond by prying into his life. As an example, the lawsuit includes a text message in which Tyler says to Derek, quote, I would hope that you would let someone hold you and make love to you. You are missing the best years of your life, my friend. Trust me. I hope you get past that block in your mind soon. And according to Derek and this lawsuit, that text was Tyler implying that Derek would hopefully get past the block in his mind and let Tyler make love to him. As a response to that text, Derek said, quote, well, it's not this person, but yes, I want that too. I'm working on it. Therapy is helping. According to the suit, as time went on, Tyler continued calling and texting Derek, and at first he wasn't answering until Tyler offered him a role in a new show called The Oval. The suit says that during his time filming The Oval, Tyler Perry's advances and harassment towards Derek only continued. There's one example in which Tyler allegedly told Derek, quote, I give and give and give, and no one ever gives me what I want or what I need, which the suit says was
exactly. I give and give. Now I'm gonna put you in Madea number movie 75. And I've blown them butt cheeks out here, and I want you to be cooperative with them butt cheeks, goddammit.
Him,
Now, don't you want to part in Madea 75?
The lawsuit says that Tyler
Madea goes to the butt cheeks.
He preferred a man that was already in a relationship so that Tyler wouldn't have to deal with the emotional aspect of the person, just the physical. Once filming for The Oval began and Derek got the scripts for his character, he noted that at the end of the season, his character was written to be shot 4 times. Derek asked Tyler about this, and Tyler told him if he does a good job, his character may not die, which the lawsuit says Derek understood to mean that his job security and role on this show was dependent upon his relationship with Tyler Perry, and if he did or did not entertain Tyler's advances. During the time,
I'm not doing it. I'm going. Keep your
This
money.
sound like one of them old porno movies. This sound like one of them old porno movies. Said you haven't got the job quite yet. It's time to. What do I gotta do? My penis looks really dry. He's got to get some wet on it. my character dies, Tyler. Penis is dry. It's got to get wet somehow for you to live. Joey said you live. Joey, don't you want to be a star, Joey?
No, I'm good. Good being an unknown person. I'm okay. So long as my butthole is safe. That's better. You know? I don't want to be doing out here being taken to take care of my shit. No.
of those characters.
You're breaking. We're losing you in a little. In we can hear you in beats.
Got on his bad side. So according to the lawsuit, Derek would accept invitations to Tyler's house and other harassing comments and messages, all in an effort to keep his job and for his character not to be killed off. There's more messages and more conversations referenced, and in particular, there's one around April of 2020, which is around the time filming for The Oval was put on hold because of COVID. And during this conversation, Tyler allegedly told Derek he imagined him prancing around in a cowboy outfit and Tyler doing things he couldn't talk about because they were so wrong. During this COVID period, the lawsuit says that Tyler would also send alcohol to Derek's house and then get on the phone with him and rant about his frustration of not getting some of the explicit things that he wanted. But the lawsuit says that Tyler Perry also told Derek not to tell other castmates about their newfound friendship. In one text about this, Tyler says, quote, listen to me. If you let the cast know that you and I have a new friendship, then you are opening yourself up to a lot of questions and foolishness. You want them to know that you are there because of your talent and not because we have a friendship or because Tony got me to give you this job. Tony was the owner of the events company that Derek used to work for, and he's also a close friend of Tyler Perry's. You earn your spot like everyone else. Don't give people an opportunity to play you small or they will. That might be a word. He goes on to say, because when we go back to work, I'm not going to know you. I don't have any friends that work for me, my friend. Professionalism is key. Derek replies saying, you're totally right. That makes total sense. Don't want to give anyone that opportunity because work is work. And then around August of 2020, when filming for the show picks back up, lawsuit says that Tyler Perry texted Derek about 2 cast members who had pissed him off and how he was now thinking about killing them off on the show. In this text, Tyler writes, quote, but I swear to you, I know how to fix this ish. I love killing a MFer in a show that no one expects. He goes on to say, think about that last episode. They are all shot at. We don't know who lives. Derek replies, I'm scared. They should be too. And then Tyler replies, nope, they're not. They are stupid to think that. So stupid. And then he goes on to say, I'm going to have a come to Jesus moment with them. Derek alleges that Tyler Perry made these statements to him to instill fear in him, letting him know that if he didn't engage with Tyler Perry's advancements and harassment, he too could be killed off. Now, since Derek had aspirations of being a writer as well as an actor, he shared a pilot he had written with Tyler Perry, and Tyler responded talking about how good it was and that he had an interest in filming it. According to Derek, Tyler used this promise of filming Derek's show as further motivation to get him to do what he wanted, including dealing with Tyler's harassing comments and behavior. As an example, the lawsuit includes a text exchange where Tyler Perry expressed some jealousy of seeing Derek with another man, and then later referenced Derek getting thick again.
It's crazy. This is just super, super crazy listening to this. This is
That's
crazy.
right. He knew them butt cheeks were soft. He's mad. Don't give them soft butt cheeks to somebody else.
In this same message, the text reads, quote, why did that photo make me jealous? You two together. Derek says, I don't know. It's just Brad. He just wanted to go on a quick walk to get his steps in, and now I'm walking to Chipotle by myself. Tyler responds, thick Derek, get that Chipotle? And then Derek replies, ha ha ha, can you tell from the photo? Tyler says, no, I can only from your jeans, to which Derek replies, that's how I measure too. If I'm not filling them out, I'm not working hard enough. And then in what the lawsuit describes as another harassing text message, Tyler tells Derek, quote, I feel sorry for the person that you choose. And what I mean by that is you're so beautiful. When you finally are able to unlock your mind, you're going to make that person crazy. Now, getting back to the shooting of The Oval, the lawsuit says that on the last day of filming the show, Tyler Perry invited Derek to his trailer for drinks, and once inside,
Crazy white man. I'm in here with all kind of lotion jerking off. Yeah. Nasty ass nigga.
Derek tells him that he isn't looking for anything intimate, but the suit says that Tyler continued making comments about how good Derek was looking and how he was wasting his looks by not being free and being intimate. According to the lawsuit, when Derek eventually got up to leave Tyler's trailer, Tyler pinned him against the wall and began groping him aggressively. The suit says when Derek didn't reciprocate any of the advances, Tyler allegedly told him he was drunk and asked him to leave. But according to the lawsuit, the harassing calls, texts, and interactions didn't stop there. The lawsuit says Tyler Perry invited the cast of The Oval on a trip to the Bahamas, and while Derek wanted to decline the offer, Derek knew declining the invitation could result in him getting erased off the show. So he agrees to go, and while on the trip, the suit says that after a party one night, Tyler Perry grabbed and groped Derek to the point that Derek was terrified and could barely sleep. There's also a text from this trip that's included in the lawsuit, and in this text, Tyler Perry sends Derek a picture of him in some swim trunks and standing next to a jet ski. Derek replies to the picture saying, nice picture with 2 exclamation points, and then says, yeah, the water does look calm. And then Tyler replies to this saying, nice picture with 4 question marks. And then Derek replies in all caps, great, amazing, awesome picture with 3 exclamation points. Tyler replies again, you don't see that stud in that quote, nice picture? Rude. Derek says, LOL, yes, that's a stud. According to the lawsuit, this continued pattern of harassment.
Pardon? Come again, Keith.
You tell him you don't see this stud in the picture? I'm going to bad area. Can you hear me, Joby?
Yes.
I'm in a bad area. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
He's saying you don't see this stud in this picture with this big penis? I want to give you all my sausage. I want to give all my smoking.
2021, another election.
So Derek Dixon, who is the man who accused Tyler Perry of sexual assault, sat down for his first interview after the filing with NBC News. And in his interview, he went over just basically and recounted what he filed in the lawsuit. So they have a conversation about what he alleges happened. You guys remember that's the lawsuit for like $260 million.
That's the white dude, right?
Yes. Yep. Who was an actor on, some of Tyler Perry's shows. Mm-hmm. So they talk about a bunch of different things. So they get into what some of the instances that he alleges happens. And one of the things he goes into is him alleging that Tyler Perry touched his butt. Let's take a listen.
2021.
It got to a point in the night where, we were both kind of feeling drunk, and there was this health monitor scale. And I was like, what is that? And he said, well, you have to be in your underwear to measure, whatever. So you should do it. He reached down and pulled my underwear down and grabbed my ass. And I, tried to stop him and pull back my underwear up. And he kind of grabbed my arms and said, no, it's okay.
Yes. So he talks about that a bit. What? Why are you looking at Envy like that, Charlamagne?
I am not looking at Envy. Stop trying to be funny, Lauren. Tell your story.
Now, they also talked about the fact that this lawsuit he's asking for $260 million. They want to know, how did you even get to this number?
For a butt grab?
What?
Right. That's why I say, what else did he
Envy, you entitled to conversation. I've seen a man grab your butt before.
Oh, my goodness.
It was you. That's a lie. Don't lie.
That's my story.
Don't lie.
That's my story.
Well,
so how did he get to that number?
Hey, man, let the record show I don't believe this man, okay?
I don't believe him either.
I don't care what y'all think. Be mad. I don't believe this guy.
I just hate the fact that somebody who accuses somebody can do interviews.
Why exactly?
Before the actual.
Tyler Perry's accused speaks. Unfortunately, y'all not going to be able to hear. So the man who...
Can you explain that first alleged incident?
Why can't I see the
Film giant. Complaint. If you
can't see any old related video to that.
One of them says, what
made you... You're asking in your lawsuit for damages totaling $200.
Bitch. Somebody else coming out claiming that Tyler Perry.
The day after that.
You're asking in your lawsuit for damages totaling...
Any more related videos to that? It's shout out to him. Hope he's gonna get whatever he's demanding. If it's true, if it's not, because I bet there's so many cases regarding that. And what has been done? That is always the question. What has been done? Despite how many victims come out claiming they have faced sexual assault from these celebrities, from just what we're from sharing, from these political leaders and all that. What happens? Allegedly. Okay, what happens? What really happens to them? Nothing. There's no justice. There's nothing. So it's good to bring it to light, to know who we're really dealing with, who are there, to as the face of Black people, which is actually very, very embarrassing. But at the same time, it doesn't make a change in anything. They have been doing it for so long. According to me, what I've seen with most of these people, and the video I've just seen of celebrities taking, even them injecting this blood, it's super, super crazy. So it's mind blowing. But as we get closer to winding up, I see God of War, Karibu Sana, says Tyler Perry should have called P. Diddy. He would have told him how to get that booty. That's super crazy, man. But it's crazy that this keeps on going on and on and on. But on the last conversation of the day, I'm gonna share let's see, there's a video I wanted to share. Okay, that just immediately. We have Trump being yelled at as the Hitler of today. Before I cue the video, I want to find some of the events taking place currently. This was in Washington.
Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! What do you want your legacy to be?
Let's go.
What do you want your legacy to be? Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler!
Yeah, so that is in Washington, D.C. We have in California, where, of course, also demonstrations have been taking place. I want to share a little bit of that on what is happening. And yeah, where there's some few speeches that have been made regarding this, whole thing. For Chicago, we have immigrants who are the ones demonstrating against deportation. So also understanding also what Trump said recently. So it's crazy.
Protests have erupted there. That is where the Trump administration is ramping up immigration enforcement in a plan it calls Operation Midway Blitz. The Department of Homeland Security says it will target the criminal illegal aliens who flocked to Chicago and Illinois because of sanctuary policies. Chicago's mayor says the city received no notice ahead of that announcement. More on this, I want to bring in CBS News correspondent Usher Qureshi, who joins us now from Chicago. Usher, I note that the Operation Midway, which was a big battle during World War II, but also Blitz, which was associated with the German Wehrmacht. This is the name of this operation. Kind of interesting as a history buff. But what does this operation mark as far as a shift in tactics for ICE?
Right. And, talking to people here on the ground, they'll say so far it's been more bluster than blitz. We haven't seen those mass arrests that have been promised as of yet. Several people arrested over the weekend, but it does represent a marked shift towards more visible, aggressive street level enforcement here in Chicago. ICE has now promised to deploy tactics that we once saw in mass raids, using unmarked vans and targeting individuals in public like vendors or people waiting for buses, rather than focusing strictly on those with serious criminal records. We know that one of the men that was taken into custody this past weekend was selling flowers on a street corner.
Yeah, so if you are in Chicago, hope you're not on these streets of all these chaos of what is happening there. But yeah, they allowed this to happen still. It's this whole situation is really confusing for me. That's why I keep on saying the fact that they are the ones who allowed all these people to, flood up in America, and they still want to kick them out. And then now there's massive loss of jobs. These jobs, they're saying apparently that they're all going back to white people, because I was reading an article which was saying that all the lost jobs, 300 and something currently lost jobs, they're all going back to the white people, white men to be specific. They were saying white men to be specific. So it's a whole confused setup system. You literally can see how they're contradicting themselves, causing a whole Hegelian dialectic. Then it still ends up backfiring on them, because this is all messed up. But as we literally get to wind up with today's conversation, I'm going to wind up with what is happening in Qatar. Israel was just watching what was happening there on the side, and I remembered yesterday we had Israel, which did strike, rather attack Qatar. That is the capital of Doha. And personally, I was just thinking about the Kenyans literally there, or Africans to be specific, because there are plenty. There are plenty. Oh my God, there are plenty. Do you know how many Africans are in Qatar? Literally. I'm not talking about even Kenyans, Africans. So many. Because remember when they attacked Lebanon? Literally, that was last year. So many Africans were stuck there, and our governments are so shitty to even do anything. And of course, they're not going to do anything because they all serve Israel. Israel is the master. The cats with the hats are the master. They have to say, yes, sir. Okay. So I feel bad, because I bet so many Africans who are currently in this situation where these missiles or bombs are being thrown, they're stranded. And of course, the Nigerian, Kenyan government or Africans stuck there, they're not going to get help anytime soon. We keep on seeing this even when we had the Russia-Ukraine invasion. So many Africans were stuck in these countries, and before response of their own government to come and evacuate them from there, it took days. You could see other nations like Americans or whatever, being quickly evacuated before even the whole situation escalates. So this is sad, because I feel bad for the Africans in this situation.
We have breaking news that's coming out from here, from the Qatari capital, where the Israeli military has confirmed that it's carried out a targeted assassination on Hamas. We heard loud explosions that were heard across Doha. Much of it was plumes of smoke. But let's speak to our correspondent, Nida Ibrahim, joining us live on set. Nida, you've been following this story that's unfolding as we speak. What do we know so far?
We've heard loud explosions here.
And nobody, you know, the crazy part, this is why we need to just connect the dots easily. No one, no any puppet leader is questioning what Israel is doing. None of them. None of them. As a matter of fact, to the video I was sharing yesterday.
And Qatar is an American ally. So with friends like America, you don't need enemies. Because America is controlled by is not real. So they can bomb you, don't nothing happen. And it's funny, just bomb people out the blue. Go ahead, Joe.
It's crazy, yeah, because I was saying these people even have like their own places. I can't remember what that guy said, but you say there's a place where in Kenya we have built and secured weapons that are supposed to be going to help Israel in case of any emergency, you know. Now, like, this is Kenya, like this is talking about Kenya, which has a safe place for Israel's weapons, just in case of
Israel controls Kenya. You ain't know that?
Exactly, I know that, but you know where is Kenya's weapons? We have shitty lorries to speak about. You know?
That's right. That's right.
That's why you see more people saying we need better tear gas and better bullets. Like, you guys are using outdated shit and still threatening our lives. Update your system of war. You know, it's super crazy. But let me share this. You know, as we continue.
Though everyone was asking and wondering what has happened, let's not forget that it comes just hours after the Israeli officials have been already.
All the focus and talks are on how Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali are using AIs to develop the country. These are the type of arguments you see these idiots having. You know, these are people using AI generated videos. They're busy talking about summits of their next agendas. But again, no one is raising a question about what is happening. Why Israel has the ability to do this and no one can question?
Because they make the money. Everybody, because they make the money. They print the money from nothing. They own all the banks. Because created Israel. The Rothschilds created Israel, Joe. So
exactly.
Rothschilds created all the central banks. So they create the money. Everybody here, why hear no Arab country speak up? Not one. Why not? Because they know who prints that money from nothing. That's why not.
It's crazy.
Threatening to assassinate Hamas members. What we've been hearing just in the past few seconds is a statement by the Israeli army and the Israeli security agency, the Shin Bet, saying that through the Air Force, they recently carried out a targeted strike against members of Hamas. They say that these leaders have been instrumental, and I'm quoting the statement, in the organization's activities and are directly responsible for the October 7 attack.
All nonsense, because Hamas was created by Israel. All nonsense, all lies. Only the people even in there. It's all, see what you do is smoke and mirrors. Joe, when you get to play, I want you to put on 60 Minutes, and the Mossad agency said, we make up the way you think the world is. We put on the plays. We put on the world. We control the world. We direct these things and make everybody believe what's going on. Because like I said, Hamas was created by is not real. Okay, this fake terrorist group was created by the same people supposedly fighting them.
And type what? You say they type what?
Type in 60-minute interview with the Mossad agent, Mossad, M-O-S-S-A-D, Mossad agent say we control the world through deception. put fake people in. We blow up people. Sometimes it's fake. Sometimes it's real. You never know. We control the world.
We have an incredible array of possibilities of creating foreign companies that have no way being traced back to Israel, shell companies over shell companies who affect the supply chain to our favor. We create a pretend world. We are a global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors, we're the producers, we're the main actors. The world is our stage. We have an incredible array of possibilities.
How did you convince Hezbollah to buy this?
Well, obviously, they
Come on, when they blew them up. Come on, when they had the phones, they blew everybody up. They blew all these kids up.
Or I think they were buying it from.
We have an incredible array of possibilities of creating foreign companies that have no way being traced back to Israel, shell companies over shell companies who affect the supply chain to our favor. We create a pretend world. We are a global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors, we're the producers, we're the main actors. The world is our stage.
How did you convince Hezbollah?
I'm gonna show you guys the company that owns the fucking world. By the time you get done this.
Okay, bye-bye. We'll know the next day. That's so sad. But yeah, I'm gonna come to the end of today's conversation. The 10 Speak says we have to talk about the back breaking during slavery, even the sick part. Yep, we can discuss that tomorrow. If you are on the WhatsApp, highlight that as the topic or remind me on my show, then we can put that as the topic tomorrow on the Africa Today show. That is if
that's fine. We can talk about buck breaking.
Yes. Tomorrow I'll be back in the studio. Joe Mosquito, keep talking your shit about my one leg. My one leg is completely. I'm counting hours till the morning, and
You gonna be back in the studio tomorrow? I thought you gonna come back Friday. Okay.
We'll see tomorrow. We'll see what they tell me. That's my biggest first. We hear what they have to say. So then from there we're good.
Hopefully they don't buck break you, Joby.
Oh my god.
Buck breaking means what you just said. Make them booty cheeks flap, Joby. Flap.
No, hell no. I got money. I'm gonna pay what they want. I'm paying with my body, nothing. Some of that news is going to help me, the big chef, and they give the real information. Well, this is the real information. Send it to your family and your friends to subscribe to Blackout Fire and download our app on the Google Play Store. But yeah, much love. See you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place.
Much love, family. And keep them booties up in your pants so they won't be flapping like Tyler Perry. Flap.
From next week, remember on Thursdays, I do not have the Africa Today show. So we shall be going back to our normal programs. Kama Kawaida. You'll find me playing reggae every Thursday. Kama Kawaida. So yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. From next week, we're back the normal way. So much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful day. And be safe. Don't know booty club out there.
Right. Don't let them butt cheeks flap. Flap.
Stay out of these actors' ways too. Don't be meeting these celebrities for shit. This is crazy.
Nobody knows she wants to be a celebrity.